Okay, welcome back to all my subscribers and viewers. Today on the bench we've got the classic M1 Garand. I'm going to make a video here discussing how I work with the front sight. I haven't seen too many videos on the front sight adjustment, but there is a way to adjust this front sight to get your windage correct. So follow along as I show you how to adjust this front sight on your M1 Garand to correct for windage. So to get your gun to shoot true, you need two tools. You need some sort of fine measurement device. I use a set of calipers here, and then you need a 3/16 Allen wrench. And let me show you what you do with these. Okay, so to get true zero windage correction, you have to take up the windage up here in the front. So you set your rear sight to 0, and then you come up here and you make adjustments up front. And the way you do this is you take your Allen wrench here, and you get inside this 3/16 Allen, you unscrew it for half a turn to the left, 3/4 turn to the left, and then that sight will slide on that dovetail in and out. All right, so it'll slide back and forth, left and right. And the problem is, how much do you slide? Because it's very easy to overcompensate. So there was no information on how much to take up one way or another. So I had to do some calculations here. So back here on the back of the gun, these windage corrections here, 4 clicks is 1 hash mark, and there's 7 clicks in each direction. So 4 clicks is 1 hash mark, and 4 clicks is 4 inches at 100 yards. 1 click is 1 inch at 100 yards. So I took my calipers and I measured those little hash marks. I found out those hash marks are about 40 thousandths of an inch each. All right, so each hash mark is 40 thousandths of an inch. Each hash mark is 4 clicks. Therefore, each hash mark is about 10 thousandths of an inch. So 10 thousandths of an inch correction on the rear of the gun will equal a 1 inch point of impact change at 100 yards. All right, so 1 click at the rear of the gun changes that position by 10 thousandths of an inch. 10 thousandths of an inch on the gun equals a 1 inch correction at 100 yards for the bullet impact. So I figured, well, if it's 1 inch or 10 thousandths back here, it might be 10 thousandths to the front. It's only 30 inches down the barrel. So what I did was I came over here and I got a starting position of 50 thousandths of an inch. And the way I did that is I took my calipers and I measured off that ledge right there. And then over here I could tell it was 50 thousandths of an inch, right? And then I moved it over 50 and then 45 and 40 and whatever. And basically I ended up moving it over about 10 thousandths of an inch. 10 thousandths of an inch is too small to try to do with your hands. You've got to have some sort of an instrument. I use my calipers with this little plunger thing here, that little end there that you can move in and out. And so I adjusted that sight. So let me show you how we ended up on paper. Okay, so 3 groups down here. First group on the left is where we started off, and then I adjusted it over what I thought was about 10 thousandths of an inch, and I shot that number 2 group on the right. As you can see, I overcompensated. So then I came back and moved it 5 thousandths of an inch back to the left, and then shot number 3 group up there. Then I corrected for elevation. Let me show you another target here. Corrected for elevation, and I was able to shoot that. So that is a 200 yard zero shot at 100 yards. With that elevation moved over first 10,000, then 5 thousandths back, got it true. So now my sights are set 0 on the rear windage, and I'm shooting true 0 at 100 yards. And I'm a little high, and that's okay because I have the elevation set to 200 yards. If I click it down to 100 yards, I'd be dead center. And I've got some other shots down here, but that's a different gun, a different pattern. Totally different project. But there's where I ended up with my M1 Garand after adjusting the front sight, not the windage elevation in the back, but just the front sight to get it 0. So I'm very happy with that. I wanted to share that with you guys. So to do this trick, to do this exercise, you need to set your rear sight at 0 over here, meaning true straight up left and right, no windage correction. Then come out to the front of the gun, loosen up that set screw and move that slide left and right, move that sight left and right. You're going to need some sort of a measurement device like calipers or whatever. It's just too fine.
Your fingers are not going to be able to determine 5/1000ths of an inch or 10/1000ths of an inch, but each 10/1000ths of an inch will turn into 1 inch change of impact. So if you are to the left 1 inch, you move the sight to the left 1 inch. If you are right 1 inch, you move the sight to the right. On the front sight, you chase it. In other words, if you're shooting right, you push it right. If you're shooting left, you push it left. And then the measurements are 10/1000ths of an inch, changes the point of impact 1 inch at 100 yards. And there's no way you can gauge 10/1000ths of an inch with your fingers or with your hands. You need something like a calipers to do it. And you use this end over here, setting it on the ledge like so. And then you can get a reading, pushing that sight back and forth. All right, that's the end of this video series. Thank you for watching the M1 Garand, iconic classic gun. Having some fun in the house. All right, so that's the end of this video series. Classic, iconic gun, M1 Garand in the house. 30-06, powerful shooting, powerful hitting, and just a lot of fun to shoot. I hope you find this helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.